The United States of America, one of the key players in World War II. They're more of a late game threat, I guess you could call it. But today we don't go with the normal democratic New Deal path where we sit around and do nothing until the Great Depression is over and the Japanese attack. We're not even doing the good old America First path, because I think there's something greater than America First, something even more American. That is, of course, capitalism first. If there's anything that America is the embodiment of freedom, and nothing is more free than capitalism. And no form of capitalism is more free than anarcho-capitalism. So the first step on our path towards economic freedom for all business owners is to reestablish the gold standard, which we can't do as long as Franklin Delano Roosevelt here is president. So we'll have to wait for the election first, and then we can reestablish the gold standard, which is good for business, of course, I'm sure. But yeah, in America, we start off with the most civilian factories in the entire game. Every other country has less than we do, but unfortunately, we can't really use them because of the Great Depression, which is just a scheme by the poor to take money away from the rich and, like, I don't know, prioritize other things than, of course, making giant business empires. And now we have a new president, Alf. We can expect Alf here not to make any more regulations and not to try to control the lives of people and businesses and anything that exists within the US. He's still far from the ideal, but the ideal, I guess, is having no state at all. We'll see about that, though. It can happen soon. We just have to establish gold standards and maybe fix the Great Depression a little bit. Then we can move on to bigger and better things. And it has begun. The beginnings of anarcho-capitalism have sprung up in America. We've ensured people that capitalism will come first, above all else, and that their rights will be protected soon. We already have increasing calls for anarchy, or calls _for _. We just need to dissolve the state as soon as possible, or else people will get mad, because then we'll be going against our anarcho-capitalist nature. And of course, we'll dissolve it as soon as possible. We'll just realize that monopolies aren't so bad. We'll give the bourgeoisie the rights they deserve, like any other good citizen, of course, if they can afford it, and make sure that there's unlimited government, and then there'll be no government soon. There's one problem, that without a state, there's really nothing we can really do. But if we get businesses to freely act together, to work in a way that benefits them all, at their will, of course, they're not being forced to do anything. That's how it works. They're just willingly working together for the greater expansion of imperialism, capitalism, yes. In Europe, Spain's in a civil war. France and Britain made an alliance, which isn't good because Britain owns a lot of territory in America, a territory that should be free. But let's be fair, everywhere should be free, but places closer to us will be prioritized for becoming free from the influence of states trying to stop businesses and people from doing whatever they want. France supporting Britain, well, I guess France owns stuff over here too, so they were gonna be a problem anyways. We'll deal with them someday. Our real enemy are the Soviets, the communists. They're the authoritarian communists in the Soviet Union. They're the opposite of us, honestly, yeah. And now Alf will be the first president in history to destroy the country. I mean, make the country better by ending the current state. Yeah, something like that. And here we are, America no more. The United Businesses led by the richest man, because that's apparently how things work. Of course, money is everything. There's no need for government. It's just the free market decides who leads the country. Yeah. Well, it's not really a country. It's just United Businesses. Willingly uniting, kind of. I guess this is kind of a state. People are still calling for anarchy. We haven't yet officially ended things. We're gonna wait a little before doing that. It's not because I'm scared of ending the state or anything. It's just that when the state's gone, you have some issues. But we're just going to focus on foreign policy a little bit, denounce pretty much everybody else. Yeah, stability is getting a little low. Yeah, we're gonna end things here. It's the only way for us to survive and not lose all of our stability and be destroyed. We just can't be anarcho-capitalist in name only. And the state has ended. We continue to oversee a loose confederation of businesses in our land, but a lot of places have gotten their own regional autonomy. We have the Pacific Trade Company over here in the Pacific, led by J.P. Morgan Jr., of course. The Golden Circle Incorporated. I bet it's great. It's probably just like cattle company or something, I'm sure. U.S. Steel has also become independent under Benjamin Fairless. It's perfect. This is how it was meant to be. Of course, these places, we're just working together for now. They're free to leave whenever they want. We're just a free corporate commonwealth, just working together to expand the interests of all businesses in America. And if they don't think we're doing a good job, then they can just leave. That's definitely not gonna happen, and definitely not gonna cause major problems in the future, for sure. That's fine. This entire thing also, it doesn't work at all if we're the only ones doing this. We need to have the World Revolution. That's the only way this can work, and we need to start off with the Americas. We need to spread anarchy to Canada and Mexico, our neighbors, destabilize them, bring them into the fold. Maybe by military means if needs be. Anyways, we'll first start with destabilizing Canada. It might not be a good idea to get in a war just yet, because as a stateless state, we will not be able to really recruit any armies. You can't really, like, conscript people. Well, I guess you kind of can if you just have the businesses make their employees go to war, but that's complicated. Anyway, we have a new form of art, and an extremely advanced form of motion picture has started to pop up in Japan. The business owners are in talks with the Pacific Trade Company and believe it would be very promising to join the American anarchy. Yes, of course, yes. A new ally in the Pacific rises, naturally. Yes, they're not very strong, they just own like 3 islands, but it's progress. The first addition to the empire, I mean, the Commonwealth. Anyways, this was kind of bad because now we can't use all of our military factories for our own endeavors because the Pacific Trade Company owns most of them now. We only have 2. That's kind of bad. Well, they can do whatever they want. That's their right. We still have a lot of civs though, which is good. That's good. Anyways, it really doesn't work out so well without an army. It isn't good, but what we can do is we can begin to hire mercenary armies. It's gonna come at a cost, but it's really all we can do. We have to hire mercenary. When you can't recruit people, that's the only option. Anyways, we've just completed War Plan Crimson, so now it's time to free the Empire. Our strategy will be to seize their key ports so the Allies can't reinforce them. And then once we have enough strategic control over the area, we can force Britain to compromise, so long as we're not ourselves being taken over. US Steel has 1 division, and the Pacific Trade Company has 6? Yeah, I don't know, I guess they can defend themselves, maybe. Hopefully. Okay, here we go. I guess while we're doing this, we can bribe businesses, which we lose more consumer goods, but in return, we get more political power. Also, we can finally go off of undisturbed isolationism. They actually moved a lot of divisions over here, which is not ideal. Okay, we've capped Canada and we've taken Bermuda. We only have these 2 last states, and then we'll force their hand. They'll have no way to attack us after this. And nice, we did it. We compromised with Britain. A white peace has been signed. We'll take some stuff though. There'll be a treaty eventually. For sure, we'll start dealing with Mexico too in the meantime. And the day Germany declared on Poland, we're getting the British-American treaty. The British have realized they no longer have the ability to fight an extended war in the Americas as tension rises elsewhere in Europe and Asia. They've agreed to cede Canada into the anarchy of North America, and the Federation diplomats have room to push their claim on 1 more region. So the Caribbean must be free, or into the Middle East the free market goes. I feel like we want to have some fun over here, of course. We have to protect it from Italy, too. But yeah, here we are. Now Canada is just divided among the Pacific Trade Company, the regular businesses, and US Steel. US Steel's getting pretty powerful there. The Allies are gonna be really, really weak compared to normal, though, after fighting that war over Canada for several years before Germany declares on Poland. Yeah, that's not gonna be good for them. And we have a great opportunity to expand the Pacific Trade Company if our entire navy didn't get sunk, well, highly damaged, and we're not really able to repair it because we don't really have that many dockyards. And Mexico has been successfully destabilized, but the free Mexico, the best Mexico, obviously, is not destined to win here. We have regular fake Mexico, I guess, and the Central American technocracy, who's, I think, the strongest of the 3. But yeah, we can send volunteers to free Mexico and an attaché. We can hope that they win. But yes, and the PTT pushes south oath to claim Baja California for themselves. Even if Free Mexico loses, at least we got this out of it. The South expands too, grabbing some land here. Very, very good. Wait, did that war with us somehow make the Allies stronger? I don't know, maybe it made them actually build a decent army or something? I don't know what's going on here, but I guess that they still could capitulate faster than historically. Here, whoa. This is quite a big Italy for December of 1939. Also, US Steel has left the faction. It's their right though, it's their right, that's what they get. They're free. This is anarcho-capitalism. We're not forcing them to be part of the free corporate commonwealth. Benjamin Fairless here, he can do whatever he likes. I guess we can't dock our ships at their ports anymore. It's a sign that anarcho-capitalism is working correctly. Also, the technocracy took this port here, so all these divisions here are now encircled since we took this, so yeah, regular Mexico, well, fake regular Mexico is probably gonna lose. Okay, and Germany did end up winning, so yeah, that's fine. I guess they will fight the terrible Soviets. And since leaving us, US Steel has been doing some interesting stuff. They now are calling themselves the Empire of Steel. They have a new flag that's a little less American. And Free Mexico has succeeded. They've managed to get at war with the UK and Germany. But once we take control of things, that won't be a problem anymore. Okay, now the Golden Circle has unlocked its true form, I guess, and we took the leftovers over here. They actually have 23 divisions. That's not too bad. I guess they have 28 mills. That's a lot. All these guys have a lot, especially the Empire of Steel. I guess they're not really our friend anymore, so that doesn't really help. They're doing God's army, and then America will return, of course. And it looks like the Empire of Steel is justifying against us. They can't be that strong. They only have 16 to 101 divisions. That's a very clear range there. I guess we'll send a spy to Boston to try to get more information. We'll steal the Golden Circle's divisions to guard the north. Oh yeah, they get Mexico's divisions, actually, when Mexico's incorporated. I forgot. Yeah, that's why they have so many divisions. The problem is there's a 100% chance these guys join the Axis when they declare on us, considering their new ideology. Yeah, this isn't good. This is very unfree market of them doing this and doing whatever they were doing before, banning rival companies. But I guess we can't control what they do because there's no state, so we can't stop them from banning rival companies. But it's fine. Capitalism will win in the end. It doesn't matter. The tanks may be strong, but the free market is the most powerful force in the universe. And the end of capitalism. Emperor Fairless has declared the United States to be reborn as he announced his plans to retake the city of Washington, D.C. The foolish, weak Confederation of Businesses has served its purpose, and now an emperor will lead the United States of America, and the world will obey its will. Well, here we go. Hopefully they're not garrisoning their ports, I hope. Looks like we're holding, though. Kind of, in most places. They haven't joined the Axis yet, though, so hopefully they don't. It's kind of weird. We are at 100% world tension. I would guess that they would. At least all their major cities, yeah, are on the coast here, and we can just naval invade them because they don't really have a navy, because they haven't existed for that long. I guess Southern Ontario is a core state of theirs, so we will have to take Ottawa, most likely. We'll encircle them, though. It'll be great. We'll bring them back into the fold. But I guess, do they have the right to just make this giant military and to just start conquering other places? I don't know. I guess they kind of have the right, but then they're just pretty much their own independent country conquering. Don't think about it too much. Oh, I knew this was gonna happen eventually. It was a matter of time. We almost capitulated them, at least. Almost. We still get a peace out with the Axis, though, so it doesn't matter. But yes, New England has been freed from the iron grip that ruled them. Businesses working together willingly to defeat the authoritarian businesses and establish the good businesses. Maybe one day they'll decide to declare some autonomy again. Maybe the same thing will happen again in 20 years. Also, now we can turn our attention to this new land we took over here and potentially, get more money in the Middle East. What do the workers of Southwest Asia need? American businesses telling them how to live their lives. Obviously, yeah. It's more just like opening them up to the global economy, of course, yeah. They have artillery divisions, ooh, scary. But of course we can't risk looking bad like we're invading random countries, because that's not what we do. So we're just going to pay some of their local leaders to start a war with us. Yeah, so then it's a defensive war. Yeah, let's invade. We have some 40 widths here. there we go. Luckily they didn't join a faction, but we really can't risk anyone else over here joining a faction. So with Iran, we'll just buy them. And the Germans have declared war on the Soviets, our two greatest enemies fighting each other. And who knows, maybe we could even profit off of this a little bit. Anyways, we've used our extremely high levels of innovation due to being an anarcho-capitalist society. We've invented nuclear technology. We're building nuclear reactors, all for the sole purpose of making the staple of any anarcho-capitalist, and that is the recreational nuke. It's time, my friends, it's time we achieve greatness. And it's only 1941 after all, so the recreational nuke is good, but selling these to foreign countries for our own benefit may be very, very good. I know it might not be the most ethical thing to do to sell these weapons of mass destruction to two opposing sides in a war, but whatever makes us money, am I right? But yes, the Germans and the Soviets have both made the deal with the devil. They have to sell their economies away to us to keep the technology they need to fight their opponent. There's nothing they can do. We have all the power here now. We're gonna make a lot of money off of this. Yes, this is the infinite war. We will ensure that this war never ends. We will sell technology to both sides, sabotage the industry of both sides. We'll sell weapons to both sides, pay men to fight for both sides. We will continue to prosper from this war until the end of time. We will keep this burning until everything in Europe has either been destroyed or belongs to us, and then we'll colonize the ashes and continue to profit. Communism, democracy, fascism, they will all perish before the true form of capitalism. 1,000 years of capitalism has begun, or 1,000. If one side starts losing, we'll start selling them equipment at a lower cost, naturally. We could even send volunteers if one gets too close to losing. We can send volunteers to either side we want. Of course, we can only have volunteers at one side at the same time. True enemy revealed. Two NKVD agents who recently moved from America's nuclear department to the State Department got wind of the infinite war idea. Within hours, Stalin feared the Ancaps swines even more than the fascists currently invading his country. A memo was sent to Berlin where the mustache man soon heard the news. The idea of being manipulated by this foreign power disturbed the Germans more than anything. Was communism maybe not the true enemy? A truce was signed between the Soviets and Germans. The threat of becoming a wasteland controlled by the Americans was something neither side could tolerate. A new age begins. Well, this isn't gonna be good for the stock market. Well, my capitalist friends, we may have pushed our luck a little too far. At least they won't be getting nukes anymore. Well, too bad we already sold the technology to them, but that's we can deal with that later. They're not in range of us. I guess they're in range of our colony over here, but that's just a minor inconvenience. Of course, there'll only be some assets lost in the process, and hey, there's no government that insures the banks that'll have to repay these companies, so it's fine, it's fine. I'm sure everything will be great. Maybe we can even give this up as a peace treaty, and then we can just go back to America and sell them stuff again. We'll return, of course, somehow, in some form from the ashes, I'm sure. No one can stop us, no one can stop capitalism, of course. That's impossible. I guess I'll see you guys next time, yeah. But yeah, I did make this mod. I've been working on this one along with a certain bread-themed mod at the same time, too. I do plan on releasing this mod to the workshop, just not yet. I still need to fix some bugs. Still some weird stuff happens from time to time. I also want to give US Steel a complete focus tree. Right now they do have one. That's how they declared independence and stuff. It's just not fully fleshed out and not the best focus tree ever. So I'll give them a complete focus tree. I want to give the Mexican technocracy a complete focus tree. They're not Ancaps or anything. They're just kind of like their own interesting faction. Then once that's done, once you release all the businesses, you'll get an event letting you play as US Steel. And once you destabilize Mexico, you'll get an event allowing you to play as the Central American technocracy. That's my plan, at least. I don't know if I'll finish it. If I don't finish it, I'll just release it as is, but right now it is pretty buggy and only works on historical. On ahistorical it sometimes works, but usually weird things will happen that'll mess up the Canada War or the Mexico War, and like, in Mexico I just got rid of their focus tree too, because that just messes things up if they start their own civil war. But technically the civil war here overrides their own civil war because it just annexes them. But yeah, just so nothing weird happens, I removed it. But yeah, I'll definitely fix some things, maybe expand it a little and just give those two countries basic focus trees. I probably also want to make a video playing as US Steel. That's my plan, at least. I don't know. I wish I could make my own mod for every video, but unfortunately this takes too much time. But anyways, I guess if you guys enjoyed, hey, remember, like and subscribe for more stuff like this. I'll see you all next time.